One. Welcome back, guys, to 2015. It's been a big off season. We're both ready to get back into footy now. I'm John Donohoe. He's Peter Seros, and this is This Week in Footy. Pete, you excited for the footy to come back?
Of course I'm excited for the footy to come back. Can't wait till Richmond kicks St Kilda's ass.
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I've put it down in the date. It's going to be great.
You're talking a bit of smack already early on in the season, in the pre-season.
It's not even the season yet.
I like it.
I'm already talking
I like it. The cricket's going away after this World Cup, and the footy's coming back, and we're all very excited. And it kicks off tomorrow night, Thursday night, in Launceston. Hawthorn are playing Collingwood. What do you reckon of this one, mate?
Absolute great game to start off with. Just say, Hawthorn-Collingwood, always a good match. Even though Collingwood didn't do so well last year, they're fit and firing, so they should be competitive enough to make this a good classic match. I don't think Hawthorn or Collingwood will go out there with their best sides, obviously being the NAB Challenge, but it should still be a very good game.
Absolutely. You can't really read too much into the NAB Challenge form. It's really a format to get the rookies and the younger players a hit out, and to give the senior players also a much needed hit out, but it's also to try a few different things. So this could be a cracker, and it could go one way as well. So look, I just think that Hawthorn might win this one. Bit more talent there. Even their young fellas are pretty good at the old football caper. The next game we've got is Carlton and West Coast. This is in Perth, I think, one of the regional grounds in Mandurah there, I think. What do you make of this one?
Carlton West Coast. See, Carlton, I've looked at a bit of their pre-season. I've actually taken a look at what they've done, and they look impressive. But at the same time, they looked impressive last year. So I'm not too sure what Carlton's going to bring. West Coast, I think they should have made finals the last 2 years. I think they've been they've got a good enough side to make finals. I think they're around that same sort of stage where they've had disappointing seasons, but they're good enough to make the finals at the same time. So it's going to be an interesting match to see with quite a few young guns coming in. It's the best time of year for people that are playing Supercoach and Dream Team and all that sort of stuff, because you get to see all the young rookies and which player can I pick up, for the cheap, and who's going to play a lot of games. So it's going to be interesting.
Absolutely, this will be a tell-all year, I reckon, for both sides in the AFL. Both teams struggled a little bit last year, and they'll be looking to get back on the winners list this year. So this will be a good hit out for them, for both teams. St Kilda are playing the Brisbane Lions up in Burpengary at Brisbane up there. What do you make of this one?
I can't wait to see that number 1 draft pick in action. He looks pretty good. I like him.
Paddy McCartan.
Yeah, that's his name, and I kind of
forgot.
I knew it was Paddy. I knew it was Paddy, and I forgot his last name. But you know what? I think he's good. I've taken a look at a few videos that the St Kilda website have put up. He looks all right. I still think St Kilda will not win, but sorry.
I don't know. I think it could be another good hit out, really. St Kilda have got a lot of young players that they're going to blood. Obviously, McCartan will probably play in this one. Huey Goddard's a talented prospect, and a couple others with Jack Loney and Jack Sinclair and Mackenzie as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing what St Kilda dish up this time around. I've been reading all the reports from the intra-club game. Sam Fisher had a blinder, Jaron Geary, Jack Nunes. Jack Nunes is ready to take that next step up, so I'm looking forward to seeing all of them in action, and I'm sure it'll be a good game. But look, whether they win or not, it's irrelevant, because it's not a knockout competition anymore.
I think it's pretty relevant. I think it's pretty relevant. It comes from St Kilda fans saying it's irrelevant for the win, but if you actually had a chance of winning, I'm sure you'd say that it was relevant, but it's not, because you don't have a chance.
So the next game we got to look at is Richmond versus the Western Bulldogs at the Whitten Oval. Your mob, they'll probably be wearing that jumper right there.
Probably not, considering this is from 2007, but they're wearing a similar sort of jersey.
What are they going to dish up this year? Who are you looking forward to seeing? What young players do you want to see?
Well, it's not really the young player. Well, actually, I think Brandon Ellis was up for, almost made All-Australian last year. We can't.
He's a senior player now, though.
Senior player. I can't wait to see his that next step improvement. Reece Conker didn't have the best seasons. We know he's got talent. He'll improve. Nick Vlaston. We know that Richmond have a good crop of players. I can't wait for McBean to make his debut as well, by the way. And
you've been talking about Liam McBean for 2 years.
I think he should have made his debut 2 years ago, but he hasn't done it.
But if he's a flop when it comes time to debut,
I think he came second in the VFL goal kicking last.
He had a pretty good year in the VFL last year.
And he didn't even play all the games as well. So great young player. He's going to be a freak, and I can't wait to see him come along. I hope he plays in the NAB Challenge as well. I want to see how he does. And Andrew Miles is another one I'm interested to look at too.
How do you reckon they're going to go against the Doggies at Whitten Oval? Big fan base for the Doggies down there, clearly.
I think if Richmond and the Bulldogs went at full strength, Richmond will probably just get over the line. But NAB Challenge, we don't know what they're going to pull out. I just want to see those young Richmond players take that first step, or see the improvements of some of the other ones that didn't have the best of years last year. I want to see how Ty Vickery does as well. So I'm not too fussed, but I think the Tigers will win. Because I can't see the Dogs going out there full strength either.
I agree. I think the Tigers will win, even without their full strength side as well. I just think they'll still be too powerful for the Western Bulldogs. They're well coached at the moment, and I think they're going to take another step when the season does commence into that top 8. And I think it could be a half decent year for the Tigers building. So you've got something to look forward to there, Big Pete. The next game is North Melbourne are taking on Adelaide. I think this one's in Adelaide itself at Amy Stadium. What do you make of this? Obviously, a few new recruits that the North might want to trot out, and Jared Waite and Sean Higgins, if available.
I think North Melbourne will absolutely flog them, to be honest. I think that they are top 4 material all the way. Last year, you mentioned that they should have made the top 4. I didn't think they had the capability of making it. They made a preliminary final. They made it all the way, almost all the way, sorry. And you know what? They did really well, and I think they're going to be even better. Jared Waite was Carlton's leading goal kicker last year. I played half the season or something as well. He didn't even play most of the games. So you know what? I think North Melbourne are going to be absolutely on fire this entire season, and I think they're going to go really far into September if they don't get a lot of injuries, that is.
I agree. I've tipped them to finish top 4 again this year. I just think adding those two senior players showed that they're not in the mood to get young players in and rebuild. They want to go. They want to have a crack now, and they know that they were that close in that prelim final. Obviously beaten by a better side in the Swans. But they came that close to getting to a grand final, and I think those two might be the missing links of the puzzle, down in the forward line and in the midfield for North Melbourne. So it'll be interesting to see. I'd love to see them play this week and see how they work in that side and in that midfield with Boomer Harvey and Wells and all that. So it'll be interesting to see. But Adelaide, I'm not sure what's going on. Obviously, new captain, Tex Walker, and they lack a new coach, exactly. So Phil Walsh's debut. So I don't know what they're lacking, but we haven't heard too many problems for them in the pre-season. Obviously, there was the head injury to I forget his name now, unfortunately, but
I'm not gonna even try. I know what you're talking. I know who you're talking about, though, so it's okay.
So that was an unfortunate incident, but apart from that, they're really unfazed at the moment. Dangerfield looks to be in good form. Speculation about his future coming into next year, and Rory Sloane keeps coming along well as well.
Yeah, they've got a great list. People have been tipping him to make finals the last couple of years, and they haven't done it, which has surprised people. They made it 9th a couple of years back as well, when I thought they were definite finals contenders. So, it's I don't know what. Oh, sorry, it was last year they made 9th. Yeah, my bad. So last year they made it 9th. And I thought they were genuine finals contenders. They beat some quality sides during the season, and they just couldn't pull it off in the end. And I love the fact that they didn't pull it off in the end because I'm a Richmond fan. But at the same time, they should have made the finals. They really should have. Yep. And it's probably why Sanderson isn't there this year. And I think, again, they got the potential, but I don't know what they're going to pull
Absolutely. They really do have the potential. Probably didn't help, those games against Melbourne that they lost. They lost that game to Melbourne by 3 points. There was a few others during the year that they definitely should have won and didn't win. They got over the line against teams like Collingwood. They showed that they're capable of doing it, and then they go out and lose to Melbourne. So, I don't know. And they lost to Richmond, I believe, as well, didn't they?
They lost to Richmond
but to get into the finals.
In all fairness, Richmond were on fire. They won 9 games in a row. So it was just that period where Richmond were on fire. It was a tight game.
Absolutely.
They didn't get flogged.
Absolutely. But if they were good enough, they know that probably they need to take that next step to try and get into the finals and have a real tilt at September. So the final game for the NAB Challenge Week 1 is Geelong and the Gold Coast. This will be an absolute cracker. Gary Ablett, if he plays, will play against his former teammates. I doubt he will. But I think
many former teammates there anymore. A lot of them have moved on.
I think he might have a rest this week. But what I'm really interested in seeing is the return finally to football of Mitch Clark. They reckon he might only play a quarter and a half or a half game, but it'll be really interesting and really good to see him get out there after what he's been through the last few years. So we wish Mitch Clark all the best. How do you see this one going down?
I think Geelong will win. If they go out their full strength, but they won't probably because they've got a lot of senior players. They most likely won't use their senior players up now.
Selwood's out.
Exactly.
And Johnson as well.
So I think this is the perfect time for Gold Coast to show especially with Harley Bennell.
Harley Bennell. Jack Martin will be back.
Martin, all those
Jaeger
players.
O'Meara will be back in town.
That's right. All those players like that, Matera, just to show that they can step up, and I think that they'll win, and I hope that Gold Coast do win. Another player that I want to see from Geelong, Royce Vardy.
Royce Vardy. I think you're getting that wrong.
The first name, it's Vardy. Is the right
Nathan
name.
Vardy.
Nathan Vardy. Royce Vardy was another one, but it doesn't matter. Nathan Vardy. I got the last name right. Nathan Vardy.
You've picked up where you left off from last year and forgetting names.
Did you? Oh, I'm sorry. Adelaide. Do you remember Adelaide about 2 seconds ago?
Yeah. Well. That's the first time I reckon in 2 years. I've forgotten a name.
Nathan Vardy.
Reece Stanley as well from St Kilda might get a run, which would be good to see. So that's all for this week. Be sure, me and Pete, we've got a huge year this year, so thanks for tuning in. We're going to be back on radio when the footy gets back on TV. We'll be back on TV, and we've got this YouTube channel as well. So keep clicking back, subscribe, have a look at us.
Take a look at the website as well. You forgot about that.
I forgot about the website. You told me not to. You told me not
how
to.
hard I worked on that website. You don't talk about it as well.
You told me not to promote the website.
Jesus. No, I did not.
So we've got plenty of content for you this year. There'll be blogs, there'll be videos, there'll be interviews, there'll be everything. So keep clicking back. Have a look. I'm John Nono. He's Peter Saros. Until next week. Goodbye.